dusty and gross, and they don't all move the same. It's just a bad feeling. And then probably the two other things that they do really well is all of the coaches are well coached themselves. Meaning whatever Scott says, you can guarantee the next coach coming in is going to say the same thing. You're not getting different. You get different cues because you need different cues, but you get the same consistent information from coach to coach, which is really cool to see. And then outside of that, I think they're just kind of hyper positive because he is, and all of that blends together and starts creating this community of positivity and excitement. Like if you get to ring the PR bell at CrossFit Mentality, you are so excited. Not because you hit a PR or get to ring the bell, but because you know everyone in the room is going to cheer.
Yeah. You know what all of that I feel like adds up to is like that community is built on real pride for that gym.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it definitely radiates from the top down. I mean, there's no denying that whatsoever, but they also raise the expectation of the members, which I think is an interesting topic. As I was kind of scribbling notes for this, I'm like, what part in this do the members play? And at Mentality, they play a huge part in it, to your point, because of pride. There's a certain kind of swagger they have for how well they're coached and how good they're at it and how hard they work and how hard they celebrate community. And it's a really interesting concept to think a lot of your community is driven by the people that are paying you to be there.
I know. And I think that also makes it difficult sometimes to put expectations on members because how do I put this? It's like, to me, it comes from the top. I fully agree with both of you guys. If you have a really positive, infectious leader or leadership or management team, and that comes down to the coaches, if someone really starts class off being stoked to be there and being happy to see the members and asking people about their lives and being that coach friend, really, it's hard not to let that be infectious. Right. But at the same time, I think my community is quite lucky in that like every class has a few, what I call like the quote unquote mayor of CrossFit, right? Like that's my husband. He is the mayor of CrossFit. If someone walks into the gym, he's like shaking hands and kissing babies. He's like, hi, how are you? I'm Matt and I want to know everything about you and welcome to class. And this is so-and-so and this is so-and-so. You guys should share a bar or whatever. But I don't think that you can necessarily put the onus on the people who are paying you to be there because some people are introverted and some people are quiet and some people are new to the town and they don't want to talk. Some people had a really bad day and they don't necessarily want to come in and radiate sunshine and shit rainbows in the class. And like, I respect that too. It was kind of hard.
Ben has done a really good job at this. I'm not going to stroke your ego here, Ben, but I'm going to a little. I know you are. You always are. I've been around a lot of WOD Prep members, and I didn't even get to tell you the story, but I went to my old gym, the very first gym I ever belonged to, CrossFit Distinction, a couple of weeks ago for the 12 Days of Christmas workout. I do it there as often as I can. And I walked in the door, and I know all the coaches, but there's one I've known for years, and he's in the back working out. And so I walked over to see him while he's in the middle of his workout, and he's like, hey, I'll be done in a minute. I'm doing my WOD Prep training. No, he's training with WOD Prep. Yeah. And when he was done, he spent 10 minutes telling me all the great things he's learned from WOD Prep. I'm like, bro, I don't need to hear about Ben. But that's very common when I meet people from WOD Prep that are members, that are paying members for these courses, and part of your community is that they're really excited to be part of that community. How do you build that, Ben?
I think an early business mentor, I think, taught me best where it's like, whenever you're even trying to sell something, like we run a company, goal of people when they join my email list, my goal is for them to buy things. I know it's shocking, but the way that we, I think, facilitate positive community experiences is because it's like the golden rule. We treat people how we want to be treated.
Totally.
My customer support team is incredible at this, and that's why I'm not in it and they are. The goal is we always want when people leave WOD Prep, even if they're leaving us and say, hey, I got to cancel my membership and I got to go try something else. We try to make that experience like a great experience. We're not like, we never spite people. We are always just like trying to lead with value. I want people to get value from WOD Prep, whether they pay me a cent or not. And at everything we do, we're trying to like over deliver the promises that we make. And I think maybe that has something to do with the community. And then also I truly think I just got really, really lucky. Some of the initial hires that I made and some of the initial athletes that I got. A lot of my initial athletes were masters athletes trying to learn ring muscle ups. And I just worked my butt off to try to make sure they got the results they wanted. And when they did, they told everybody about WOD Prep. And then all those people, when they come in, we try to make sure that they achieve the goals that they want to achieve, and we help them as best as we can. And then they go out and tell more people. So I think it's more of like this. There's no like huge evil strategy to create it. It's just treat people the way you want to be treated. Like, I mean, I went to Chipotle recently, and I go there a lot. And like the difference between the person who knows they care about your burrito bowl, and they're adding a little bit of extra chicken, and when they're giving you a solid, and you're like, yes, this is awesome. I love this place. And then there's a person that just skimps a little bit, or doesn't even look you in the eye, or was trying to rush you along. It's like those little tiny experiences that either rub you the right way or the wrong way. We're all need to rub people the right way, even if it's a negative experience. Like even if they're like, hey, I want a refund. We're like, absolutely. Like that's why we have a lifetime money back guarantee. Like, here's your refund. I hope that this helps. Also, we released this video. This might help you. It's totally free. Let us know if there's any way we can help you in the future. It's not like, here's your money back or trying to fight it. It's always like, treat others the way you wish you were treated.
I think that value is a really interesting potential tenet to kind of include in the bottom of this community pyramid, because when you provide something to people, they kind of are really feeling a very specific way about you and maybe will be more inclined to give back or give more of themselves or be a part of it. And when you think about all the value that like Ben gives at WOD Prep for the greater CrossFit community during the open, right? Like he's providing all of these open prep videos for free and staying up until 2:00 in the morning the night that they are announced so that he can figure out exactly how to break things down and give people strategy recommendations. And that's something that like people can turn to you and know you for, and then want to give back to you or want to become a part of your community, want to buy things later on or say nice things to John about you when they're working out. Or John, like your affiliate does a lot for the greater community. I know that you host classes specifically for folks with impairments and disabilities, or that you have a lot of options when it comes to like, what class time do you want to come to, or financially, how can we get you in here, or whatever it may be, like looking for ways to truly just bring fitness to people. And I think a lot of affiliates do that in a lot of ways by offering your first class is free, or just buy a t-shirt when you drop in, or my affiliate has a buddy day once a month, totally free for anyone come to class with your friends. And we won't pressure you to stay, but we sure hope that you had a good time. And I think that might be just a really nice way for people to want to reciprocate becoming a part of the community or giving more of themselves to the community or feeling more comfortable in the community, because value is just a really interesting way to frame that as to like, why do people stick around? Because you've given them something.
Yeah, and the law of reciprocity is very real. It's like ingrained in our psyches. If someone does you a really big favor, especially if they do it from a place where they're not necessarily expecting anything back, they're just doing it because they're like, hey, if I can help you, I'm going to do it. It's especially one that's not like, I'm going to help, but you need to do this for me. When it comes from a true place of love and caring and understanding and like truly caring about, in this case, someone's fitness, then there's just something that happens kind of magically, and it trickles down into whether it's your online business or whether it's your CrossFit community.